Hey kids, it's Mr. Hammond. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to be talking about rotation and revolution. So at the top, let's go ahead and put a title. Rotation and revolution of the Earth and Moon. Okay, I highly suggest that before you get started with this type of stuff that you get some, what I call them circle makers, but go around the house and find some things that you think will allow you to make different size circles. Washers work great because they give you two different sizes, one inside, one outside. I grabbed this little plastic container for a large circle, and a tape. This is like the plastic piece that tape wraps around for another circle. So yeah, just find some things around the house that you can draw circles with, because we're going to be doing a lot of that with seasons. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and draw kind of the upper half of it, a picture of or a circle for the Earth. I think I'm going to do this in pencil first, and then I'll go over it in pen for you, because otherwise I'll probably make a mistake. So the trick to this is we're going to try to draw a sphere, which is the shape the Earth is. It's not a circle, it's a sphere. You're going to go ahead and put a dot on the top of that circle and the bottom of the circle. Now the Earth is not tilted straight up and down. It's actually tilted to the side by 23.5 degrees. So we're going to take that dot and I'm going to move to the left on the top a little bit and make a line, kind of a hash mark. And I'm going to move to the right on the bottom one and make a hash mark. And then I'm going to connect those two hash marks together, or at least draw a line on the top and the bottom to represent the North and South Pole. So, here we go. The Earth is tilted. And it rotates in a counterclockwise direction, so I'm going to draw my arrows counterclockwise. Now to make it look more like a sphere, I'm going to go ahead and once I've done this, I'm going to put two dots perpendicular. So that means the equal distance from both of the poles. So kind of think going straight and then tilt it to the side. See, it's perpendicular. And on the back side, or on the front side, I'm going to make a smile, connecting the two dots. But on the back side, I'm going to make a dashed line like a frown. And this is to show you that there's the equator that goes around the entire Earth. Okay? We'll do all the labeling here in just a minute. That's the basic picture you need to draw. Now in the distance, giving us perspective, way off in the distance we have the sun. So I'm going to draw the sun way off in the distance. And I'm drawing it small. Really, the sun's much bigger than that. But it's so far away that it appears small. And then going around the Earth, I have a moon. So I'm going to use that same size for the moon. The moon is actually a quarter of the size of the Earth, so maybe I'll make the moon a little bigger. I'll make it a little bit bigger. There we go. There's my moon. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some realism to the moon and give it some craters. If you want to color it in, you could color it in. So here we have our moon that goes around the Earth, and the Earth and the moon, which are going around the sun. So let's talk about specifics. So right up here, we drew a little arrow. The Earth spins, and moon, I should say, rotate in a counterclockwise direction. The Earth and Moon rotate in a counterclockwise direction. So they spin the opposite way that a clock does. The Earth goes around the Sun every 365 and a quarter days. And it revolves and this is the reason why we have leap year, because every 365 days or every year we lose 1/4 of the day. So every 4 years we have to actually have one day that we insert into our calendar to catch ourselves up, because every year we lose 1/4 of a day because our calendar is a little bit slower than the actual time it takes us to get around there. All right, now the moon revolves every 27 days around the Earth. In a counterclockwise motion. So it takes 27 days for the moon to get around the Earth, approximately. The Earth, as I said, is not straight up and down, it's tilted. And it's tilted by 23.5 degrees. And that's going to be very important when it comes to us talking about seasons. All right, give you a chance to get that done. Now, one of the interesting things about the moon and the Earth is that the moon spins counterclockwise too. However, it takes it about 27 days for it to rotate. So it revolves every 27 days and rotates every 27 days. Because its rotation and revolution are exactly the same, we only see one side of the moon. So as the moon goes around us, we only get to see one side of it, because it's rotating at the same rate that it revolves, which is kind of a weird thing to picture in your head, but that's what happens. All right, so that's about rotation and revolution. Down here, we're just going to do a quick review of rotation and revolution. So to rotate would be to spin on an axis. So rotation, I'll make my circle here. This I'm going to put straight up and down. Oh, I forgot to label up here. That line right there, that important line is the equator. But to rotate means to spin around on an axis, okay? You also see a lot of rotation when you see a ballerina spin around, and she turns around numerous times, or he turns around a bunch on one toe. That's going to be a rotation. I think it's called a pirouette. And then if we got revolution, and I remember this because revolution is longer, and usually revolutions take longer. That's going to be when you have a planet going around another planet. So I'm going to draw a planet here in the center. It can also be when a planet goes around the sun. So here's let's just go ahead and make this the sun. But it can be a planet too. Okay. And an interesting fact I'm just going to add is most planets go around the sun and most objects go around a planet in what's called an ellipse. An elliptical orbit. Another word for revolution is orbit. All right, so rotation and revolution. Rotate is when you spin on your axis. Revolution is when you go around something else. And these are the important facts that you need to know about Earth and Moon's rotation or revolution. I think that wraps it up. Oh my gosh, how could I forget this? Earth's rotation. So Earth and Moon rotate in a counterclockwise direction. Let's put Earth rotates, and you know this, but every 24 hours. And that's what gives us our day. And Earth goes around the sun every 365 and a quarter. That's what gives us our year. Which I think most of you understood, but if you didn't, now you do. All right, thanks for hanging out with me during this time. Have a great day, guys. Good luck.